Let's begin with step number 2. In this step, we will configure our cloud connector to connect to on-premise and to connect to our SAP Cloud Platform. Let's log in it. So when you first time log in it, the default username is administrator and password is manage, all in small. Hit enter. Now it will ask you to change your password, the default password. So I will change the password. Here you can choose the installation type, like it is a master or a shadow. Here we will want to keep it master because we are managing it. Click on save. Now this is the user interface of Cloud Connector. Here you can see the information related to the administrator, and here you can see different type of options like details about the connector, if there is an alerting or what is the security status, and here we have option to connect to our on-premise and on-premise to cloud. Now in our case, we want to expose our OData services to SAP Neo environment web IDE. So here we will have to give the details of our Neo environment. We have the region. Yes, we have the region available inside the new environment. Then we have sub account. Yes, we have sub account. Then we have sub account user and then the password. And then we can write the description. So let's get these details from the cloud platform. I will click on the new tab and go to cloudplatform.sap.com. Click on login into trial. Close this tab. This is not necessary. Enter your credentials. Click on log on. Now we are inside the Vernier environment. So let me divide the screen into two parts so that it is easy to copy paste. So here you can see that we are inside the Europe road region for the new environment. So here we will see what options we have available to select the region. So here we will write our Europe region. We want to connect to Neo environment, that is our trial account. So we will have to select this option, Europe road trial, because here we also have Europe road trial. So let's select this one. Now we have selected our region. So in the next we have our sub account. Actually it is cutting. Let me expand it a bit. So now we need to enter our sub account. So this is our sub account. So copy it, paste it over here. Display name is not mandatory, but you can write it over here like my Neo account. And here you need to enter your sub account user. To get the sub account user, you have to click on your username and then user information, and this ID is your sub account user. So copy it and paste it in the sub account user and close it. Now you need to enter the password of your new environment. We'll enter the password of new environment. Click on the save button. Here you can see that we are connected to our new environment. So everything is in green. So let's go to cloud to on-premise and now connect our on-premise system. Click on this plus button. We want to expose our OData services. So here we will select the ABAP system option. Click on next. Here you should select the protocol through which you will be connecting. So here you need to select the protocol through which you want to connect. So I will select HTTPS. Click on next. Here you need to enter the internal host and port address. How do you get it? So let's see. This is my on-premise system, and this is the service that I want to use inside the Fiori application of Neo environment. So this system is ER2, and here I want to get the detail of internal host and port. This is gateway client. This is used to test the OData services. And here you can see what type of entities are inside it. The SAP gateway client is used to test the OData services. If you are familiar with OData service, then you know this page that it contains the details of the services. This is the URL of the service through which our data will be exposed to the external system. Here you can see that address is starting with HTTPS. Now this is our host address and this is our port address. So let's copy this internal host and port and paste it over there. So it is not allowing me to copy that, but this address and this ID address are same. So I will copy it from here. I'll press Ctrl C and go to my cloud connector. And here inside the host, I will put this, and in the port, I will put this 8080. Ctrl C, then inside Ctrl V. Our on-premise system will be recognized inside the cloud connector through this internal host and this port address. Click on Next. Now this is virtual host and this is virtual port. Our cloud application will use this host and this port to connect to our cloud connector. They will not know about this internal host. So the virtual host is used to expose the on-premise system to outer application. You do not need to share the internal host that is private to your organization. You will create a virtual host. It works in the same way like virtual private network. So here I will edit this virtual host because I want to hide it. And here I will write virtual host neo. And the port I will write 8181. Click on next. Principal type, we don't require any certificates as of now. So we will click on next. And here host in the request header. Here we will tell the cloud application whether to get the data from virtual host or the internal host. As we have already created our virtual host and we want a secrecy of our internal host. So here we will keep the option virtual host. Click on next. And here you can write the description about this process. So I will just leave it as blank. I will click on next. And here I will click on finish. Now our mapping of the virtual system to our internal system is complete, but we haven't checked it if it is working fine or not. To check it, click on this action button. Now it is verifying that if our on-premise system is reachable or not. And here you can see that it is green. It means that our system is reachable. Now in the next step, we will expose our resources of the virtual host. It is written that the resources of virtual host Neo 8181. It means whatever resources of on-premise system you want to expose will be shown here. To add the resources, click on the plus button. And now here you can write the URL path. I want to expose our OData services of our ABAP system. So I will write the URL path from here. Now this is my URL path, this SAP OPU/OData, because I have already configured my virtual host and port from this internal host and port. And now I want to get the access of this part. So I will copy this part, Ctrl C, and go back to our URL path, and I will mark it as active. I'm not using any WebSocket proxy. I will keep it unchecked. And here what you want to access. So inside this path, I want to go deeper. Like I want to access the entity or I want to use association navigations. So I will select this radio button, path and all subpath. Here you can write the description about this resource. So I'm leaving it blank, clicking on save button. So now our resources are added to here. Now we are done with the configuration of the cloud connector. So to recap it, in the first step, we configured our sub account. And in the second step, we mapped our virtual system to our internal system. Means we recognized our on-premise system. And in the third step, we exposed the resources of the on-premise system. Let's move on to the step 3, in which we will recognize the cloud connector inside the new environment.